Native Americans in the American Revolution. Native Americans played a complex and significant role in the Revolutionary War. They navigated different choices between supporting the British and the Americans, often with dire consequences for their communities. During the American Revolutionary War, tribes found themselves at crossroads, having to make challenging decisions on whether to support the Americans or the British. Many tribes tried to remain neutral, but as the conflict escalated, they were forced to choose sides based on their interests and historical relationships with the colonists and Britain. We all know about the Shawnee tribe and Point Pleasant and Chief Cornstalk, but today I'm going to talk about the Iroquois Confederacy. That was the main group of Native Americans that fought in the American Revolution. For the Iroquois, there was safety in numbers. A village was a home to hundreds of people and sometimes as many as 1,000. They lived in structures called longhouses. A longhouse was about 20 foot wide and 50 to 150 foot long. The whole village was protected by a palisade, a fence of logs about 20 foot tall. There's the inside of the longhouse. How'd you like to be there with 20 families?
Like living in the barracks.
Yeah. It was like all those bunk beds on the.
What did he say?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Many groups in the eastern woodlands spoke one Iroquois language. They all lived away from the coast, what is now Pennsylvania and New York. Again, the whole village was protected by a palisade. And outside the palisade, the women grew different crops. They would grow corn, beans, and squash. Nearby, there would be a source of water. The Iroquois made their clothing from deer or elk hide. They also used animal fur. They used porcupine quills and beads for decoration. And where did they get these beads?
Traded them?
Traders. And what did the traders want? Fur. And they traded the traders for different styles of weapons. And it's hard to read, some trade goods that they would trade for and what they would trade. And the main thing that they really traded was a beaver hide. And what was the beaver hide? Why was it so important?
Hats,
yeah. So the beaver hides were put in bundles and shipped to England, and the top hat, made out of the fur, the inner fur of the beaver. And and look, it's $1.25 per beaver hide. And this was back in the 18th century. So they would trade for all different kinds of things. And it was pretty expensive too. Gorgets, $18.36 a dozen. So you'd have to have 18 beaver hides or so to get a gorget, or a dozen of them. Anyway, marriage and family life for the Iroquois. In the Iroquois world, the husband had really no authority over the women. And whatever you might have read about the purchase of women is not true. Marriage was by mutual consent. Customs on divorce varied from tribe to tribe, but a woman could leave her husband whenever she wished. The women in the longhouse all belonged to the same clan. When a woman married, her husband moved into the wife's longhouse. It was forbidden to marry anyone outside your own clan. So when a woman married, a new man arrived in the longhouse. The men only brought with them a few things, a weapon or two, and some clothing. When a baby was born, the child was a member of the wife's clan. When the boys grew up and married, they moved to the wife's longhouse. And so it went. The 9 clans were Turtle, Bear, Wolf, Hawk, Huron, Beaver, Deer, Snipe, and Eel. Each clan had a clan mother who was responsible for overseeing the clan, directing its activities, and selecting men to represent the clan at the Iroquois' Great Council. The clan mother had a great deal of power. Before the council met to make decisions for the clan mother offered each member advice. Council members were usually chosen for life, but if the clan mother felt that he wasn't doing the job, she could fire him and select someone else. So the clan mother really had a lot of power. So although the men ruled, they had to do so in a way that would please the clan mother. So women had a lot of authority. Though their stories are not often told, Native Americans played major roles in the Revolutionary War, supporting both armies as scouts, soldiers, and diplomats. The contributions of Native Americans were critical to many important events, battles, and decisions that shaped the outcome of the war. So let us explore and understand the roles people of various Native Americans played in the war and how their cultures and communities were affected by the outcome. So during American revolutions, most Native American tribes sided with the British, hoping to preserve their land and prevent further colonial expansion. While a few of the tribes, like the Oneida and Tuscarora, supported American revolutionaries due to existing alliances and grievances that they had with the British. This often led to division between the tribes, particularly with the Iroquois Confederacy, where some nations fought along the British while others fought with the Americans. Key points about Native Americans in the Revolutionary War. The majority of them sided with the British. Most tribes, fearing further land loss, allied with the British, who promised to protect their territories. So that's one reason that they supported the British. The British told them, hey, we'll protect your land. We'll take care of you. The Iroquois Confederacy split. The Iroquois Confederacy consisted of 6 nations, which I just mentioned, saw internal conflict with the Mohawk, the Cayuga, the Onondaga, and the Seneca, siding with the British, while the Oneida and the Tuscarora supported the Americans. Some notable Native American leaders: Joseph Brant, who was a Mohawk and was a prominent leader who fought with the British, while the Oneida Nation actively supported the American cause. Impact on native lands. Despite fighting along the British, Native Americans were ignored in the Treaty of Paris, leaving them vulnerable to further encroachment by American settlers after the war. So, British, when they signed the Treaty of Paris, just forgot about the Native Americans that were supporting them. Just said, you're on your own. By the mid-18th century, Great Britain began planning on how to respond to the rebellious Native American colonies. One key element of that strategy detailed how the British Empire could leverage Native Americans to counter the anti-British mindset growing through America. By 1775, the expanding colonist footprint pushed Native American tribes further west, past the Appalachian Mountains, which created violent conflicts between native and colonists, while demonstrating that the British were a more beneficial partner. After the French and Indian War, Great Britain sought to establish peace with the Native Americans by creating a proclamation line of 1763. The line intended to limit colonial development east of the line while allowing organized Native American tribes east of the land west of the line. Many of these tribes were allied with France in the French and Indian War, and now Great Britain worked to create a beneficial relationship through trade and peace. This line was one of the many grievances of the colonists as they continued to push west for large swaths of land as well as access to the Ohio and the Mississippi rivers. During this period, the British government established Indian agents. And these Indian agents went out throughout the colonies and tried to build relationships with the Native American tribes. As war broke out, these agents used their influential relationships to form all alliances between the Native Americans and the British military. Promises of land and tribute were made all along the frontier, and the British began to play on the inherent fear that many on the frontier had of Indian attacks. Patriot leaders also attempted to make alliances with these tribes, but most of the colonial legislatures had pushed for aggressive Western expansion into tribal lands. So that's the reason that the colonists couldn't get the Native Americans to side with them. They were pushing and taking their lands where the British said, hey, I'll protect you. I'll take care of you. Few tribes would align themselves with the Patriot cause. Though both sides made a goal to court the favor of native tribes, Native American influence and numbers, especially warriors, were much diluted. By the American Revolution, the population of the Native Americans in the colonies was 600,000. This is a steep decline of approximately 6 million Native Americans in 1600. Of the 600,000, only some were warriors and able-bodied men able to fight. Most tribal members were elderly, young, or women who did not traditionally fight. The fear of settlers of Native American raids was mostly psychological warfare and one the British determined to fully leverage. Though Great Britain worked hard to use their Native American allies in the war effort, their overall success was limited. Most of the influence the tribes had was psychological. Several thousand warriors attacked southern settlements and hundreds joined loyalist militias. Their influence on the outcome of the war was minimal. Great Britain sadly turned their backs on many of their native allies when they signed the Treaty of Paris, ending the war. Great Britain ceded all British territories east of the Mississippi and south of Canada. The tribes, once loyal to the crown, had no say in the treaty, and their land was now open for American migration and settlements. Blocking this incursion has been one of the main reasons many tribes sided with the British. The result was instant bloodshed and continued dissemination of Native American settlements along the western side of the Appalachian. So that involves us. I mean, people were moving westward, moving further west, and the Indians kept getting pushed and pushed. Many of the tribes continued to push back against the new American government. Constant conflict consumed many of the Native American white settlements, but eventually the tribes were pushed westward by the United States and settlers. So even though the Native Americans supported the British, at the end, they lost everything. They got pushed westward. I have some Iroquois clothes to show you today. First one is called a roach. It's made out of porcupine hair. The brown is porcupine hair. It's called the guard hair. And the red is dyed deer hair. So to make one of these, you have to sort all this hair by length. You'll notice it's longer in the front, shorter in the back. So you take the porky hair, you short it by length, and then you tie it on a string. So you start with the small hair, keep going up, going up, going up till you get the long hair. Tie it all on a string, and then you put a second row in the front. In the deer hair, you take the tail, you dye the tail, you take and cut off a little bundle, and you tie that on a string. So a roach like this today costs about $800-900.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make
I have made several, but I did make this one.
Got the string as shoelaces, I see.
Yeah. And then German silver that they would trade for.
Where did they
Wow.
wear? Here?
Yeah, it
Down
is.
here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they would normally braid their hair and pull it up through this hole and put a pin in it. So if you don't like the pain of the pin, you can wear a string.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And otter. So they would trade for different hides. I had a beaver hide, but I don't know what they did with it. So this is an otter. Pass it around, you take, feels good. Also moccasins, soft-soled moccasins. So Native Americans in the Western tribes would have hard soles made out of rawhide, but in the Eastern woodlands, they would wear soft-soled moccasins, and it's called a center seam. And like I mentioned, their clothing would be made out of hides, either deer or elk. But after they were able to trade with the traders, they could purchase cloth, and then they could purchase beads also. So this is a breech cloth, so it'd be worn in the front. And these are the leggings, so they're called center seam leggings. So they'd be worn like that. And then, like I mentioned, hide leggings. And then they would have some kind of bag that they would carry their things in. This was just a decorated pouch.
Wow. Nice design.
And this is called finger weaving. This is called a diagonal design. It's all done by fingers, weaving it backwards and forwards. And the Iroquois also had their family. I mean, they had kids just like we do. They had
I think.
religion. They had like everything we do today. And they also had their own music. So if Western tribes would use a big drum and they would sing their songs, Iroquois had what we call a water drum. So this is a log filled with water. So you would tune it by stretching it, how much water in it. And afraid to say that I couldn't put any water in this because it leaked. So you have to keep wax in it or something to keep it from leaking. But one of the songs they had was called the Smoke Dance. And they still perform that today in powwows and things like that. And just like the name implies, it's real fast. The dancers, during the dance, there's places where they'll jump. And so I'm going to sing a song that we call the Smoke Dance. Probably didn't sound very loud, but we'll do what we can. Oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey. Oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey,
What are the words saying? Are the words?
A lot of the Indian songs were just vocals, like Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. So there's just a lot of Native American songs were just vocals. Although they did have some, they had veteran songs, like they sing today to honor the veterans who served in the in the armed services. Native Americans had great respect for people who served in the armed services. Like many Native Americans served in the armed services. I can sing you one veteran song. So anyway, we have some veterans here, don't we? Mm-hmm. So if you stand up, I'll sing a song for you. And normally you use a big drum for the veteran song, so I'll try to do it on this one. World War I and World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Viakashua, soldier boy, a soldier boy, World War I and World War II, Korea, I have a group called the Catawba Indian Dancers, and several years ago, my group went to Niagara Falls and visited what we call the Turtle. And the Turtle, also known as the Turtle Building or the Native American Center for the Living Arts, is a three-story building in Niagara Falls. The building was opened in May 1981 as the headquarters for the Native American Center for Living Arts, an organization dedicated to promoting Native Americans' visual and performing arts. Its unique shape had a roof shell and large eye windows, and this building, man, it's great. And inside here was a restaurant. Inside here was an upstairs you could walk around, and there was exhibits and museum and everything. And inside here was a big dance arena. And it's shut down now because of money problems. We went there for a powwow. We met some Iroquois Indians, and we talked to them, became friends with them, and asked them if we could learn some of their songs and some of their dances. And they came to Parkersburg and stayed with us for a long weekend and taught us their dance, some of their dances, taught us some of their songs, and then that Saturday evening, we went to Parkersburg Catholic and did a performance that was open to the public, and with them dancing and us dancing, and we put on a show. And we took videos of us singing the songs, and we took videos of us the dancing and sent that to them. And after several months of critiquing, they finally gave us written permission to form some of their songs and their dances. So over the several months, we practiced all these songs and dances. And anyway, we're one of the few people that's been given written permission to do some of their dances and some of their songs. And later, we visited 6 nations of Grand Rivers located in Sweden, Canada. And while we were there, we got to visit with Hubert Buck again, who was a great maker of drums and stuff like that, and he made us a water drum, which this is not the one, but he made us a water drum that we could use. And there's still Iroquois reservations. New York State has several, and Canada has several, so they're still around. So, any questions? There's the outside.
Do you have a video of your dancing? You said videos were taken.
Yeah, it was years ago. I mean, this has been like 15 years ago.
Well, Ted, I want to see you dancing.
I don't have one with me. So I belong to, it's called the White Star Gourd Dance Society. If you go to a powwow and you know what gourd dancing is, it's kind of boring to sit there and watch it, but it's kind of fun doing it. I also belong to a White Bear Haluska Society, and we usually have a dance every year in Chicago. So it's all what you call straight dancing. So it's the tuxedo of the American Indian. So it's all a lot of silver and ribbon work and stuff like that. It's a honor society. You have to be given permission by the Ponca Indians and so forth to do these dances and have a society and so forth. So.
And you still go to the Chicago for
Yeah, I do.
every year?
Yeah. Thank you.
Spectacular.